All right, so our last video is writing a few body paragraphs about Asoka, the conqueror, Asoka, the king of India. Now, you have got some evidence, and you've already worked on an introduction. The last thing we need to do is to write a couple of body paragraphs. So here's our evidence that we gathered together just for one document, document A. I'm going to write a single body paragraph based on document A, and I'm going to claim that Asoka should be remembered as a merciless conqueror. Now, if you have already chosen to write your essay about how Asoka should be considered an enlightened ruler, then you don't want to use this paragraph that I'm about to write. If you have decided that you're going to write your essay, your paragraphs about how Asoka should be remembered as a merciless conqueror, you may use these two pieces of evidence, of course, with the other evidence that you found. But if the only thing that you give to me is the paragraph that I'm going to write, if you copy my paragraph and you submit that as your paragraph, then you're not going to get any credit for that. Okay, I'm only doing this as an example. I don't want you to copy my words. All right, but you may copy my thoughts and you may copy my procedures. So what we want to do is you need to start out by saying that this is your first reason. So let's say I've already done an introductory paragraph and I've said Asoka should be remembered as a ruthless conqueror. So I start out here and I say the first reason that Asoka, I don't care how you spell it, should be remembered, and I'm sorry about my handwriting, I'm trying to do this fast and I'm sitting at an angle, as a merciless conqueror. There's an announcement. Is because of all the pain and suffering he caused. All right. Now that's my summary statement, or that's my intro statement. You see, he caused a lot of pain and suffering. And how do I know he caused a lot of pain and suffering? Well, I got that from the map. We got 350,000 Klingons dead or driven out. Remember, 100,000 were dead, 100,000 died of disease, and 150,000 were driven out of their homes. We also said, okay, and so we're just going to go with that for now. So we got 350,000. So I've got this. He should be remembered as merciless because of all the pain and suffering he caused. In document A, it says, I hate that construction, it says that, no, I'm taking that out. When, this is how I'm going to do it, when Asoka conquered Kalinga, he killed 100,000 people and caused the deaths of 100,000 more. He also drove 150,000, should be 150,000 people from their homes. All right. And now I'm not going to write in here, I know this by document D. I'm not going to write it says in document D. I have given you the fact. The facts are he killed 100,000 people, he caused the death of 100,000 more, and he drove 150,000 from people from their homes. All I have to do here is in parentheses just put document A. There, that's the reference. That's how I know it. And so if anybody wants to look at document A, well, what they'll see, they'll go here to document A and they'll see, sure enough, killed 100,000, 100,000 died of disease and hunger. Now, I didn't mention disease and hunger, but I said he caused the deaths of 100,000 more. You might want to mention disease and hunger. 150 driven out of their country, 150 driven from their homes. Okay, so this says driven out of the country after the battle. I put driven out of their homes. It's pretty much the same thing, right? If you're driven out of your country, then you're obviously driven out of your home. So there's my first body paragraph. That's my first reason. Now I can even continue this here and say the map shows that Asoka didn't really need Kalinga, the area of Kalinga, because he already had control, one L, already had control of most of India in the first place. Now, I know you can't read this. I don't expect you to read this, and I really definitely don't want you to pause. I do not want you to pause the tape and try to copy this. Now, I don't have to say document A again because I said the map shows. Maybe over here I should put in parentheses the map in document A. How about I do that? I'm going to erase the word shows and I'm going to squeeze in the map in doc A shows. All right, so I've said the map in doc A. Don't say it shows. Don't use that construction, it shows or it says. All right, always tell us what you're talking about. The map in document A shows. If I was going to use one of his edicts right over here, I would actually say, in Edict 2, Asoka said, and then I would say what he said to prove my point. Don't ever say, it says in Edict 2, because Edict 2 doesn't speak, Asoka speaks. So you want to make sure you identify who's saying or where you're getting your information. So there's my first body paragraph. I'm done. What I need to do now is do a second body paragraph that starts out exactly the same way if you want to. The second reason that Asoka should be remembered as a ruthless conqueror is because, and then after the word is, you can change that any way you want. It doesn't have to be because, but it's all right. It's because, and then you finish that thought. Is because what? You just tell me why and explain how you know that. I know he's a merciless conqueror. I know he caused pain and suffering because I see the numbers in document A. Well, what else do you see? Now, frankly, we don't have a whole lot of evidence for ruthless conqueror, but there is some more, and you could go for it. I believe the best evidence for ruthless conqueror is probably found in document E. Yeah, there's some evidence in ruthless conqueror that you could get out of document E, but I'm not going to tell you what that is because hopefully you figure that out yourself. Now, if you're doing enlightened ruler, you just do the opposite. The first reason Asoka should be considered as an enlightened ruler or as a wise ruler is because of, and then say what he did that makes you think he's wise. Now, notice my scratches. It's not a big deal. This is a rough draft. When you're finished writing out your paragraph here, you're going to take this piece of paper to your computer and you're going to type this into the class notebook page that I set up and assigned to you. And you're going to put your body paragraphs there. All right, so hopefully that helps you write several body paragraphs. The goal is 3, but 2, I will take 2. If you can only think of one body paragraph, then you can't get higher than a D, and that's only if your body paragraph is really good. You'll get a D. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a 50 F if all you can do is give me one weak body paragraph. Do the best you can. Write as much as you can. Put it into your own words. Do not copy. word for word from the edicts? And if you do, make sure you put it in quotation marks and don't copy any more than one single sentence. Put everything else in your own words. All right, that's what I have for you. Good luck with it.